Veterans Affairs is paying for a convicted cop killer who never served a day in the military to receive PTSD treatment. Today I'm going to show you what happened when the opposition Conservatives asked the Prime Minister to step in and stop this injustice. In 2015, Christopher Garnier murdered an off-duty police officer named Catherine Campbell. He murdered her the very night he met her in a bar. Garnier punched her in the face, broke her nose, strangled her to death, and then disposed of her battered body in a recycling bin under a bridge in Halifax. And as Garnier sits in jail for the next 10 or so years, convicted of second-degree murder and committing an indignity to a body, he will be treated for post-traumatic stress disorder. And even though Garnier never served a day in the Canadian military, Veterans Affairs Canada will be footing the bill for all of that treatment. And that's because Garnier's father is a veteran. Oh, and that PTSD that Garnier is suffering from, well, by his own admission, he says he gave it to himself when he brutally murdered Campbell. Garnier even tried to use the PTSD diagnosis. Again, that's the PTSD he gave himself while killing Campbell to get a reduced sentence for her murder. This guy is a world-class scumbag, gobbling up resources meant for actual veterans who are suffering from mental illness that they got while in the commission of the jobs we asked them to do. Veterans groups are rightfully outraged. Retired Sergeant Colin Saunders told CFRA's Brian Lilly that every day I'm seeing veterans come in and they've been roadblocked through the bureaucracy of Veterans Affairs. It's simply an outrage, and it's sad that it has to get to the point where we need to shame people and hold them to account for them to do the right thing. And the victim's family echoes that sentiment. Catherine Campbell's aunt said there are actual veterans who returned from war or multiple wars, and they are killing themselves because they can't get the help for the PTSD they suffered from through no fault of their own. And now that the House of Commons is back in session, it's time for these Liberals to explain not only how this happened, but why they haven't put a stop to this ongoing national shame. Now, this next clip I'm going to show you is a little longer than most clips that you'll see here at the Rebel. It's about 2 minutes long, and it's from the House of Commons. But this is one of the most unbelievable and despicable exchanges that the Conservatives have ever had with this Prime Minister. I think it's really important for you to see this for yourself so that you can truly understand just the level of neglect and apathy and maybe even disdain Prime Minister Trudeau has for our armed forces and veterans and their legitimate concerns about this payout. Here.
Mr. Speaker, we're talking about a decision by the Liberal government to pay for the benefits of a convicted killer with money from Veterans Affairs when he's never served a single minute in Canada's military. If a serving member is found guilty of murder and dishonorable discharge, they and their family would lose all their benefits. For the sake of all those who served honorably and continue to fight Veterans Affairs for the benefits they earned, will the Prime Minister commit today to stop paying the benefits of this cop killer?
Right, Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, we see once again that there is nothing the Conservatives won't stoop to play politics with tragedies. I will not answer that question.
Trudeau refused to answer after preening about all the good things he thinks his government has done for our veterans. Catherine Campbell's family deserves answers. Every Canadian veteran and armed forces member who ever waited to get the help they need deserves answers. And every taxpayer who is outraged that their money is helping a convicted killer get over the PTSD he gave himself when he savagely murdered an off-duty police officer and then stuffed her body in a garbage can deserves answers. The Prime Minister is a coward who chose to be fake offended into indignant silence to avoid any semblance of accountability here. Canadians want answers. We want the truth. We want this to change so that it never, ever happens again. But like our wounded veterans, Canadians are asking for more than the Prime Minister is willing to give. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. I'm tired of Canadian veterans being neglected and insulted by the Prime Minister. Did you know that every migrant family from Syria that comes to Canada gets $50,000 in cash aid from the federal government, while our veterans are being told that they are asking for more than the government is willing to give? To sign my petition to the government calling on them to provide better treatment for our veterans, and to see the full story, go to 50,000.ca.